pushing.
Still out in front is Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday. Two trucks that have tried to catch them but have not been able to get right up to their bumper or get by have been Parker Kligerman and Todd Bodine. Those two are working it now. James Busher just in front of Brendan Gaughan. So the 31 and 62 are hooking up now and seeing if they can move closer to the two. Oh, and problems. Kligerman goes around. Bodine right behind him. So problems with the two truck again.
Look at Blake Feast. He's going to clobber something.
Blake Feast able to keep it off the racetrack.
Well, it was a matter of time the way those two trucks were bobbling around.
That was the tandem racing gone bad. I was just thinking, it sure looks like Mike Wallace and Ron Hornaday looked the best doing it. Everyone else has really looked like they were out of shape.
10 times better than the rest. But this, you said this is disaster. Well, actually, he avoided disaster. Kligerman went for that big spin. They were far enough ahead of the pack itself not to collect other trucks. They'll live to tell it again. But I'm telling you, Phil, if I'm Parker Kligerman, the way he's having to drive that truck, I'd say, Todd, go pick you somebody else. Go pick somebody else, and I'll find me somebody new.
Again, the 29 running third.
See him high?
See how high he is there?
What's he doing there?
Bodine turned him. Caught him and turned him from the
Well, we're watching
outside.
in slow motion, so it happened a lot faster than that.
Those two were running together. It looked as though Bodine went to the high side. Kligerman stayed down low. Take another look.
What's he doing? He's all the way up beside him, and he just turns him.
Maybe they were going to do the switch right there, Michael, and the air just sucked Todd back into Parker Kligerman's truck. He was so far to the outside, it looked like possibly that they were going to do the switch right then and there, but then sometimes the air will bring those trucks back together, and it caught Parker Kligerman's quarter panel.
The pack right behind him. Kligerman able to stay off of the wall. This is Todd Bodine.
You heard Todd was off the throttle before he actually spun Parker.
And the 32 of Blake Feast.
Watch Blake Feast. Somebody gets him from behind.
Is that Johanna Long in the 20? It is Johanna Long in the 20. Got in the back of Blake Feast. The rear wheels came off the ground there. Fortunately, that truck came back down. I did not see the roof flap deploy on that truck.
This stuff ain't easy, y'all.
Take a look at the front two. These two were running third and fourth.
Very fortunate for both those trucks that they'll live to roll again. Some tires on Parker's truck. They come battle back. Todd Bodine's our defending champion. He knows how to drive a truck, but we just haven't liked the way those two trucks have looked together since they started doing this, and finally it got out of control.
And it may be just because of the Dodge and the Toyota combination rear bumper front end.
Well, it's got to be something like that, because those two Chevys of Harvick's are going dead straight. We've already seen Todd Bodine tear the back bumper off Parker's truck, so they just don't, something there isn't right.
You said it earlier, I called it Teflon tape, but that is on the two KHI trucks. We're not sure if it's on the slippery tape.
Yeah.
We're not sure if it was on the 30 and the 29. And we know the 29, the bumper bar had gone away. Let's go to pit road and Hermie Sadler.
Well, Brendan Gaughan's had a pretty good day so far. They're going for track position. Sunoco fuel only for Brendan Gaughan on this pit stop, hoping to keep this track position and stay up front. Ray?
This will be fuel only also for KHI, but watch as they clean the grill. Hornaday said his water temperature was going up more than expected. They'll clean that off. They get a tear off, and he once again will roll out the pits right behind the 33.
Those two working very well together on the racetrack. Busher making up 3 spots on pit road. So Todd Bodine involved in this most recent incident with Parker Kligerman. There's the back end of the 29. Crew going to work on that race truck. More of the Coca Cola 250 here on Speed. Tonight it's World Series Game 3 in Arlington, Texas. The Rangers continue their quest for their first championship in franchise history, while the Cardinals, they're looking for their 11th World Series title. Legends are born in October. Game 3 of the World Series between the Cardinals and Rangers begins tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Well, the Tigers are going to be in that World Series.
Missed it by that much.
Kenny Wallace sure is happy that worked out.
Cardinal fan, Kenny Wallace.
Aaron's lucky dog going to Cole Witt. They've had some issues at the start of this race, and so trying to get some laps back. So Cole Witt will be 1 lap down when we go back to green flag racing. Stay with us, more from Talladega. Monday night NASCAR Race Hub delivers the ultimate recap from Talladega. Hear from the drivers chasing the championship and get all of the latest breaking news from the world of NASCAR. Don't miss NASCAR Race Hub Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed. Bump drafting has been the story of this race up to this point, and it's been trucks that have not been doing it properly up to this point, with the exception of the top 2.
Yeah, these guys right here have done it from the first lap on. This has not been quite as sanitary. Watch, you're going to see Parker Kligerman just all over the racetrack here, while these two guys look like they've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah, and you said about these two, look at this move. Brendan's getting a hold of the back of Todd there, and Todd's on Kligerman there. See him go sideways? That's not good at the 190 miles an hour. And he's been so aggressive, he tore his bumper off.
And then it gets worse right here. He makes contact with Parker Kligerman, turns him around. We're getting reports that something may be wrong with the engine in the 29 after that spin. These engines don't like to spin like that.
Yeah, you turn your engine around backwards, it'll blow it up, and it might have happened to Kligerman's dive.
Take a look at our race recap after 53 of the scheduled 94 laps. Buescher out in front. We've had 9 different drivers and 14 lead changes. Our average speed just over 130 miles per hour. 3 times we've been slowed down because of problems on the racetrack. Let's go back trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, we're getting to that point where if you're going to bump draft, you may want to try it to see if it'll work towards the end of this race, and I think that's what's about to happen with the 23 and the 4. Jason White just came on and said, please tell Ricky, get up there, give me a push, let's see what we've got. So a little bit of experimentation coming your way here, I think, after we get this restart.
We knew it was coming, didn't we, Phil?
Yeah. I'm not sure you can win this race without getting in a 2-truck tandem. Can you?
I'm sure you can't win it unless you know how to do that. That's exactly what it's going to take. We saw Kevin Harvick's truck, Mike Wallace, Ron Hornaday drive out to an 8-second lead. Well, the next restart, here comes Bodine and Kligerman. They didn't get out to that lead. Those trucks kept right up with them. It'll just continue to grow and grow. But we saw a mistake in the 2-truck tandem twice. Once with a truck blowing a tire, messing up the Thor Sport trucks, and then that time right in the tri-oval, Tom Bodine gets into Parker Kligerman and spins him around. So it's just going to get worse, I'm afraid, bud.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Don't turn your channel or nothing.
We will have 40 laps of bumper-to-bumper action when they come back by the start-finish line. On the inside, James Buescher. Outside, Mike Wallace. Green flag in the air.
The important thing is Ron Hornaday is right behind Mike Wallace as they come up through the gears.
Mike Wallace, Ron Hornaday. Early on the restart, those two nose to tail, they're connected, and they will start to pull away from the pack once again.
It's going to be no competition. They're going to have a huge lead unless these two trucks on the inside get hooked up.
But Phil, you can't stand it as a race car driver. You say, come on now, we got to try this. They can't just drive off from us like that, and that's what pushes people into doing things maybe they're not comfortable with doing, but they know they have to do if they want to win. That's why they're all here to win.
Looking on the outside of the racetrack, you have Josh Richards. Maybe Josh, with his limited experience, isn't that comfortable doing it, but he has his truck owner and teammate Kyle Busch right behind him, and he's going to have to do it.
I don't believe I'd tell Kyle I don't want you pushing me. Kyle said, that's my truck. I'll push it anywhere I want.
Trying to use that truck to move toward the front. They are taking that third line, the outside line. Falling back just a bit from the middle 2 lines. On the bottom, it's James Buescher. Right in the middle, Austin Dillon. And then on the high side, Josh Richards in front of Kyle Busch.
We got the green flag on a restart. Those 2 trucks got hooked up. They came around in 1 lap and had a 2.5 lead.
Yeah, look, they're 3 wide behind them. You know, it's interesting, Phil. I found it harder to be getting pushed because of what we saw with Parker Kligerman. His truck was all over the place. Todd Bodine just wide open pushing him. That's not that difficult. I think it's interesting that Kyle Busch has elected to push his teammate. With all the experience Kyle has, pushing Josh, it seems like maybe Josh's job's a little harder, but being able to see that rookie, being able to see what's ahead of him, Kyle might think that's more important, because when you're stuffed up behind another truck, man, you got to have quick reactions if something goes wrong so you don't spin them around when they all slow down.
And you may wonder why Ron Hornaday is not leading that two-truck tandem and getting the bonus points for leading and bonus points for the most lap sled. Well, to me, you're more vulnerable in the front. Ron Hornaday's the guy trying to win a championship. I think it's safer back there where he is.
Well, that's the point with Josh and Kyle. It's safer where Kyle is, and Kyle's pushing the heck out of Josh, but Josh is learning a lot right now. That's for darn sure. Running up there in that third spot, heading toward the front.
The last time by, Wallace and Hornaday just set the fastest lap times of the entire race, both below 50 seconds for one lap around this 2.66 mile racetrack.
That's getting with it in a truck, isn't it, Rick?
Over 190 miles an hour around this racetrack.
Another thing, Phil, we'll just put a period on this. If you're more experienced and you're better at pushing, you can make that guy in front's ride calm.
Clear low.
You know, we saw Tom Bodine kind of moving around a lot on Kligerman. You don't see Kyle Busch doing that, nor do you see Ron Hornaday doing that. They're sitting there pretty steady.
Moving good out front.
Austin Dillon on the bottom of the racetrack leading the pack. But again, out in front, Mike Wallace, Ron Hornaday, Josh Richards, and Kyle Busch. Those two-truck tandems have pulled away from this pack.
You know, I talked to a lot of NASCAR fans, and they're like, we like the pack racing better than the two-truck tandem. And I talked to some that like the two trucks better than the pack. Well, we're offering both here today.
We'll give you both.
We've got a couple of two-truck tandems, and we got a big old pack of trucks, and we're having action no matter where the trucks are.
It's a 2-for-1 deal here on Speed Today. Ray Dunlap.
I just want to add on exactly what you were talking about those front two trucks. Yesterday we saw Hornaday behind Mike Wallace as they practiced, and they wanted to do it that way just for exactly what you said. Hornaday feels more stable there and less likely to get into trouble. And I asked him, what about leading the most laps? He said, well, look, if Mike Wallace leads the most laps during this race, that means that none of my competitors did, so it's just a wash.
That's a good point, too. And you know, you talk about that fast lap they ran, Rick, just a few moments ago at a 49.60. That is, 15 miles an hour. You see Ron Hornaday moving around there.
Smoke coming out of this truck.
Is that Jamie Dick, the 0-2?
Yeah, the 0-2. Looks like he has some front end damage, Phil. He might have overheated that truck.
Coming to you.
Or knocked some water out of the motor and blew it up.
So the fourth caution comes out from Talladega after we've completed 59 laps.
Fellas.
This time it's Jamie Dick in the 0-2 bringing the caution out.
What I started to say, that lap that they ran at 49.60 something was 192. 15 miles an hour faster than the pole.
Two-truck tandem between Wallace and Hornaday. It's working. A couple others still trying it. We'll see how it works for them in the later sections of this race.